The following program contains material that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center Marin, it's MarINSANITY.
Thank you. I am Greg Brockbank, the host of this first set, and welcome to MarINSANITY, where people in Marin demonstrate their sanity by watching stand-up comedians prove their own insanity by standing up here and try to make the audience laugh. Please be gentle with me. This is my first stand-up comedy performance, which I was offered a few weeks ago, and I immediately accepted, and then only got serious about thinking what I would talk about last night. For example, what's up with this tuxedo? I asked the producer a week or so ago if I could wear it, and she said, yeah, wearing a penguin suit should give you some material right there. And I'm thinking, yeah, I need it. I've been singing in a holiday chorus for a few years now, and until last year, I rented a crummy old tux, which not only looked terrible, but I resented paying the money to rent it. So last year, in part because I was also the MC of a Broadway cabaret where most of the guys wore tuxes, I broke down and bought this, my first ever personal tux. Now, Thank you. I've long had delusions about attending the opening night gala of the San Francisco Opera or the Symphony or events like that, but they are just that, delusions, as I never really go to anything like that. Anyway, my second delusion was thinking that it would cost a couple $100, about what I pay for a new suit. So, of course, I gagged and choked when I learned at the store that it was several times that amount, and that was for the cheapest one I could find. But I'm glad I got it. Even if I only wear it several times a year, it will be worth it, even if only to boost my ego. Isn't that pathetic? Yes. So I'm wearing it tonight in an effort to amortize the cost, but also because I figured that if I can't be funny, at least I can be well-dressed. But now we come to the part where I have to say something to introduce myself. I'm a lawyer with a wife and 2 adult children and a dog and 2 cats and a nearly lifelong resident of Marin. But the main thing about me is that I'm a junkie. No, not the kind of junkie you're thinking of, although they do check my arms for tracks every couple months when I donate blood. I'm a newspaper junkie, a meeting junkie, and a political junkie. I gave up coffee 45 years ago, so reading a couple printed newspapers is what I do every morning instead, stuffing my head with knowledge for fear of missing out on what's going on in the world, the country, and especially in Marin County. I've served on the boards of several dozen local civic and political organizations, which has supplied me with about 5 to 10 meetings a week for over 30 years now. Although in recent years, I'm starting to average more rehearsals each week than meetings, as I've been performing in a significant number of musical comedies, as I did during my college years, where I got a degree in theater. But after a few years of that, I took a tragic career turn and went to law school. Only recently returning part-time to life upon the wicked stage in community theaters. And finally, I'm a political junkie, and not just because I served 22 years as an elected official, but I've also been keeping meticulous lists for 20 years of every candidate for every local election: name, address, phone number, email address, and political party. And I've become a regular commentator for over a decade on local elections. And in recent years, I've co-hosted live election return shows, including one earlier this month right here in the studio. As a political junkie, it might be tempting for most people to make brutal fun of politics generally and politicians specifically. But even though I'm slowly withdrawing from all that, more slowly than I'd anticipated, and I still have too much respect for local elected officials, nearly all of whom serve because they honestly believe they can contribute to and improve their communities. Give or take a few egomaniacs, which you might expect. Now, national politics, on the other hand, lends itself to comedy quite nicely, if it wasn't such a tragedy. They say that once you are the butt of jokes on late-night comedians on TV, you're done for. But Donald Trump seems to be an exception to that rule. In fact, he's astounded most of us daily with his comments and his tweets since he first announced his candidacy for president 2.5 years ago. For 80 years now, the president's party nearly always loses seats in Congress in the midterm elections, which will be 1 year from now, particularly if the president is unpopular. President Trump started his term in January with historically low approval ratings, and he's dropped a lot since then. So all the pundits predict big wins for the Democrats next November. Earlier this month, somebody offered to bet me $100 that Trump would be reelected in 3 years, but I don't think he'll even last out this term. I've gone back and forth on the likelihood of impeachment versus the 25th Amendment, which allows a majority of the cabinet, along with the vice president, to remove the president from office if they find him mentally unfit. But if nothing else, I think Special Counsel Robert Mueller will get him sooner or later. And I'm not so anxious for it to be sooner, because then we'd have President Mike Pence, who's a grown-up, he plays by the rules, he knows how to govern, and is more likely to successfully enact the Republican agenda, which Trump can't do because he's constantly mired in scandal and incompetence. Finally, I have to make one final observation. Public opinion can change quickly, as we've seen in the past decade, when states went from putting on their public ballots measures confirming that marriage could only be between a man and a woman. But starting a few years ago, measures passed allowing gay marriage, although court decisions mandating it became more common until the Supreme Court made it mandatory for each state a few years ago. One of the first states to pass such a statewide election allowing gay marriage was Washington State. And in the same election, they became one of the first to legalize recreational use of marijuana. Interesting combination. Until I realized they were just following the dictates of the Bible, which says that he who lies with another man should be stoned. Thank you very much. Our first real performer, my job was to set the bar really low. I hope I succeeded. Our first performer is fairly new to stand-up comedy, but he's loved making people laugh since he can remember. So let's get the show started with a nice warm welcome for Daniele Meaty.
Thank you very much, everybody. Ooh, this is awesome. That's a nice audience. Just please pretend I'm as dressed up as our host. Definitely, yeah. I must have missed the memo, but no. This is great. How's everybody doing tonight? That's awesome. Yes. So, but before I begin, yes, I am very well aware I do have a pretty big head. I'm very well aware of the issue. I feel like we should start by addressing the elephant man in the room. You have a pretty big head when you call shotgun for a car, and that all your friends are kind of picturing you just sitting on the dashboard, just wobbling your head around like this. Yeah, it's it's all good. It's all good. I know that I feel like my delivery as a baby must have been a little rough. My mom still doesn't talk to me about it. No, actually, my dad doesn't talk to me about it. It's just what the hell did you? No, I'm just kidding. I know this is a pretty graphic opening, isn't it? I really hope that we're all picturing the same mental image right now. My mom would be so proud. No, I'm obviously just kidding. My parents love me very much. It was a C-section, so it was actually probably a really large O section, just to be sure. No, it's it has its downsides to have a pretty big head. I wish I could wear a hat sometimes. I can't. If you put a hat on me, it looks like when you put little clothes on a chihuahua, it looks oh no. It looks it looks adorable, but you just know they shouldn't be there. They just shouldn't be there. No, it's fun, and it's not I've seen hats that I've liked before. It's not like I can just go and buy one. First of all, I have to ask the store if they have it in size sombrero or bigger, just to be sure. Plus, I can't just go to my friends and be like, what do you think about this? It always has to be wouldn't it be hysterical if I put this on my head? What do you think about this? This concludes the hat section of my set. I hope you all enjoyed it, and you're looking forward to the hour-long hat special. No, I have. So my name is Daniele. Once again, our host pronounced it perfectly, which never happens. That's really great. It's a little bit of an unusual name. It's Italian. I'm from Italy. I'm actually gay and Italian. In case you guys were wondering, is he gay or just European? With me, you just can't get it wrong. No, it's I've been married to my husband for almost 2 years right now, and thank you guys, thank you. That's awesome. See, it's great to get some support. I can't believe it's crazy to me that in 2017 there are still people not okay with that. It's crazy. It's just those people that will tell you last time I checked it was Adam and Eve. It was not Ben and Jerry. It's just I'm whatever, Dad. I don't care. It's just. No, it's I feel like what's changed a little bit in my relationship since I got married is that I'm starting to want a little more time for myself, like a little more space. Like I know that, like, sometimes he will just walk into the room. He hasn't said anything bad yet. He hasn't like said anything at all, actually. And I'm just like, I wish I could turn this like long-term relationship into a long-distance relationship, even for just a little bit, No, it goes very well. I'm a little afraid of like that day that I just like walk into a room and like find him choking, and I consider the other option. You know what I mean? Like I go, of course I want to help him. Of course I want to help him. Ooh. Of course I want to help him, but if I didn't, I know that like eventually I would convince myself I was doing it for him. It's just like, if I die first, I know that he's gonna be devastated. So like this is kind of the ideal scenario. Like he would definitely thank me if he could talk and wasn't blue. But no, I'm obviously, these are all jokes. I'm very, very much in love with my husband. I'm very well aware of my flaws. He definitely lets me know those. No, like he's been telling me that, for example, I never listen to him, and well, he said a bunch of other things, but I wasn't paying that much attention. But no, it's all good. I feel like we're still in our honeymoon period. I am looking forward like to the phase in the relationship where I can just like walk into the bathroom as he's pooping and have like a casual but comfortable conversation, but no, that like makes him uncomfortable and crosses the line, just wait for the flush. It's whatever. Like the cat definitely doesn't mind when I'm like staring at him in the litter box. Like if anything, I feel like it made our bond grow stronger with every poop. This is a lot of eye contact, isn't it? Just I apologize. You're not pooping right now though, right? It's okay. Good. So that's allowed. That makes it better. No, I'm gonna be 50. Eventually. I'm planning on it. Somebody was just like, yeah, I can see that, which I don't. No, it's I will. I know. Eventually, I definitely want to turn 50. I try to take good care of my body. I've started working out again. As a gay man in San Francisco, you don't get much of a choice. Like you will just go out to the bars and look around and realize that life without abs, for some reason, is just not worth living. So you have to go for that. But it's not just what just not just working out. It's also like what you eat. Like luckily in California, not many people know about this, but in the state of California, if you order a restaurant and your food does not come with avocado on it, you're legally allowed to slap the waiter. Did you know? Yeah, and don't believe to what they tell you, because the waiter at the last restaurant I went to said it wasn't true. But I just think you should know how to take a hit. It's just. No, and the only other thing you can do, like you have to stay young, especially with in the mind, with all the technology that we have around us, like constantly you have to be like quick and ready. I feel like I have like a love-hate relationship with my phone, for example, for this next joke. And it's just like what I hate the most is like you're replying to a text of a friend. He said something funny, and all you say is just ha ha, and the phone just goes on and autocorrects you to like ha 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 ha. And I'm like, why Siri? Like I know exactly the amount of enthusiasm I was trying to get the other person. It was ha ha followed by a period. I've tried to end this text conversation for the past 3 days, and now either I go back and delete all the extra ha's, or my mom is just gonna think she's hilarious. Thank you very much, guys. That's my time. Thank you. Give it up for your host.
Okay, our headliner of the evening is originally from Chicago, but now lives in San Francisco and has performed at Zanies, Laugh Factory, and Punchline. Please put your hands together for Greg Gettle. Let's hear it for Greg Gettle.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Greg. It's a pleasure to be here. Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Cool. That's cool. No, so Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm going home for the holidays. And I'm not buying my parents gifts for Christmas. And a lot of people think that's shitty. Like, why would you not buy your parents gifts? It's Christmas. And it's because I don't buy gifts for people that used to hit me. Yeah, it's not how I live my life. I mean, round of applause. Who was ever spanked as a kid growing up? Round of applause. I like how I said round of applause and you raised your hand. You got hit hard. Headshot. No. No, I remember one time I was 5 years old and my mom was spanking me and I was laughing at her. Which is the wrong move, as you know in the back. It just makes him more mad. So my mom got mad. I had like this plastic bowling set growing up as a kid. I had like plastic pins and a plastic ball, and I must have been playing with it because while she was spanking me, she reached over, grabbed one of the pins, and started spanking me with the toy. And I don't know if you know this, but when you have the realization that your parents can use your own toys as weapons, your Christmas list a little different next year. Yeah, I had so many sweaters by 15. Crazy time to be alive. No, man. So I'm not originally from San Francisco. I moved here a couple of years ago from Chicago. And San Francisco's changed me as a person for the better, you know. For example, I just got out of my first polyamorous relationship. Do you guys know what polyamory is? It's when you have sex with other people in the relationship. Yeah, you're surprised. Yeah, I didn't know it was polyamorous either. It's a very San Francisco way of finding out you got cheated on. Yeah, plot twist. No, I have to give you a little backstory about my relationship. So what happened was my girlfriend was with somebody for like 5 years. And they broke up, and then we started dating like right after. So like I was the rebound guy. And like we were in the first month of relationship, and we were in the lust phase. And if you don't know what the lust phase is when she talks about her cats and you say continue. That's the lust phase. So everything was going great, you know. We were on our third date, it's probably like a third or fourth date, and a girl came up to us and she was like, "Greg, are you that comedian?" I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, she recognized me from a show. She said I was very funny, and she walked away. And my girlfriend was like, "That was so cool that you got recognized," and that was it. That's all we talked about. And about a week later, I get a text message from my sweetheart saying that she cheated on me. And what happened was she blacked out, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of saw that coming, you know. You were with some guy with 5 years, you broke up, I get it. Was it so you fucked your ex-boyfriend, right?" And she's like, "No. Do you remember that girl you were talking to at the bar?" Yeah, I was like, "What? You had sex with my fan club? Like, that's so funny." And she was like, "Well, Greg, can we get over this?" I was like, "We can't get over this. You fucked my fan club. Like, there's no bouncing back, you know?" And she's like, "Well, Greg, how about this? How about you cheat on me one time? Just cheat on me one time, and we'll call it even." And now, guys, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but have you ever thought about fucking your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend to save face? Right? You're just like fucking Brad from the back, like, "This is for you, sweetheart. I hope this brings us closer together." Very San Francisco, you know. And that's what I feel like I would have done it, but I feel like I would hear my dad's voice in the back of my head be like, "That's what happens. You move to San Francisco." You know? And you're like, "No, Dad, it's different. It's for a girl." Very weird. So I don't know, man. So I've been drinking since then, and I don't know. Have you guys ever gotten so? Don't you hate it when you get so drunk that you get beat up? You ever have that? I got drunk on Halloween. I wore a twister mat because I didn't have any money, so I cut some holes in a twister mat, and that was my get up. And then I got beat up, and I remember the guy just stomping at me, kept kicking me, kept being like, left foot green, which is hilarious. Right foot red, I don't know. So I don't know. So I think about getting sober. It usually happens in the morning. Let's get real. But like now I'm single and I feel like I can't get sober right now because like, have you ever gone on a sober date before? It's a fucking mistake, is what it is. It's like, where'd you go to school? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's like, it feels like a job interview. It feels like a job interview for a job that I don't really want anymore. Like, these questions suck, you suck. Because, like, I don't give a shit of where you went to college. All I want to know is what you don't want me to know. Like, right, you know what I mean? Like, why are you single at 29? Like, why are you still here? And so, like how many sober dates would you have to go on with somebody to find out how much they hate their parents? Right? Like, you know, hopefully on the first date. But it could be like 2 dates, 2 months, 2 years. But on cocaine, you could find that out in an hour. That and how racist they are. It's a great first date. I don't know. It's a cheap date, too. Cheap date. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, cocaine is expensive. But the truth is free, you know? I feel like people get weirded out when I bring up cocaine. Like, I don't do cocaine that much, okay? Just relax, guys. Like, I'm a Segway tour guide when I'm not doing this. Yeah, things aren't going great. But like, I know I only do cocaine on like special occasions, you know, like birthdays, you know, weddings, payday. That's a good one. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I want to do tonight, guys. My name is Greg Edel. Thank you so much, everybody.
Very much for coming to marINSANITY. I'm Greg Brockbank, your host, and come back again. Tell your friends if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your mouth shut. And thanks again for coming to marINSANITY.